Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of Over the Top TV. I am Curtis Klashinsky.
And I'm Riley Miller.
All right, we have some stuff to talk to you guys about today. As usual, we like to stay with the theme of we're not just out to copy what all the other channels are doing. We want to bring you, focus on that Canadian news and release some things that not everybody else is talking about. So today, to take up that theme, look at the 2022 Atlantic Canadian Championships. I only knew about this because I saw Mark McPhail's post on Facebook, and friends with him on Facebook, and it looked like a big event, and they had trophies and everything, of course, and I figured we may as well bring that up, right? We were talking about that.
Yeah, I might as well talk about it, right? Like I said, I stumbled across it on social media there too.
Yeah.
And I always scroll past Mark's stuff. He's pretty high level in the community, so I tend to kind of hover a little bit over what he's talking about, and I take a lot of interest in it. And it turns out it happened the same day as SAS Provincials, and it's Canadian arm wrestling. Might as well talk about it.
Absolutely. And, I'm going to bring this up, and we're going to scroll through some of the winners here, because it's a lot of people to list, and this would take forever to read them all out. But we're going to go through here, and just so everyone can see who won, who's placing where at their, provincial level, as you stated. Looking through here. I don't recognize a lot of these names, because I'm not a well-traveled arm wrestler, I guess. I've done all right for myself, but I've had an interesting life and never really had a lot of chances to travel, and so I missed out. But may as well, I want to be able to give these guys their proper shout out. These guys all work very hard, sure to get where they're at, and these might be names you'll see at nationals, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a few names that there is a couple I recognize, but most of them are. For sure, if I've seen them before, I definitely can't put the face to the name. But there's definitely a couple that I can.
Yeah, and I met Mark at Nationals 2008. I actually have a picture with him somewhere. I'll see if I can track that down and paste it in here. But I did meet him, and he's super nice guy. I met him on the table. We had a war. It was interesting too, because in the middle of our war, he's trying to cut in, get his move where he's all over top, right? So he can jump on you. He's an absolute tank. And here I am, obviously trying to crank outside because I want nothing to do with that inside game. And his hand ended up seizing up. He couldn't, I can't remember if it closed shut, and he couldn't open it. I think that's what it was, is his tendons were seizing or something. I've never seen that before or since, but he was in shock. He was trying to straighten his fingers out. It was the wildest thing. And then he got them together, and then I think he lost on fouls. So it's not like I pinned him. I got a win, and I consider it a lucky win, considering that was my very first nationals. But dude's a tank.
No, absolutely. He's the real deal. I've looked at results with at Worlds and stuff, and I see his name and I see Tyrell's name up there quite a bit. They're probably the two most underrated Canadian arm wrestlers probably out there, I would say. But Mark, I think I've never really met him personally, but I think the one thing I remember was at Nationals in 2019, he had a war with Fraser Benoit, left hand. And they were deep inside in a hook, right? And I think both their faces were beet red. And at one point, I think it's just the way Mark is just such a good technician, and so is Fraser. But I think he could just tell that Fraser's hand maybe was going, because all that happened was they're deep inside, and then Mark just went complete. I've never seen a real can opener.
Yeah, you saw it that day.
Just go from the deepest hook ever to a top roll, just one swift motion, just peels the hand open. He made it look easy. It probably wasn't, but just the way he made it look, and he pinned him. And then he went to the finals with Kane, and they just had a war. I think Kane beat him.
Wow, impressive.
But yeah, no, that was my memory of Mark McPhail. But killer dude.
Yep. No, that's solid. And then what else? What topic do you want to bring up next?
Well, one thing I wanted to discuss, the right hand 220s there.
Yeah.
That tells me a
yeah.
lot about that Jamie LeBlanc. He's got to be really good, you know.
Jamie LeBlanc. Yeah, here we go.
He's got to be really good. Taking out Mark McPhail, and then I guess a few other names I know. I know the name Phil Carty in the 198 class.
Yep.
I do know of him. I think I hear he's a real killer. And I mean, obviously the results they speak for themselves.
Yeah. Look at that. He won 10-person class. 10-person class. I don't know if this was double or triple elimination, but regardless, that's a long day.
Yeah. 10-person class, both arms that day. Yeah. Really good.
Wow.
And then the only other name that I recognize is in the 220 plus. This is probably the hardest last name to say other than Wojciechowski there, Tyrell's last name.
Wojciechowski.
Charlie Magoshin, I'm just going to say.
Let's see that second place here. Second place on the right, first on the left.
Yeah, he's a killer too.
Yeah.
Kenny Snow, I know that name.
Okay.
Kind of, but there's definitely some killers in there. So this was a great event, it looks like.
Big placings for these boys. Yeah, wow. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, having Rick Pinkney and Perry Broom among your reffing staff, I mean, that speaks for itself too. So this looks like a top-notch event. So
yeah, Perry Broom and
done a
Rick
channel without bringing this event up. That's for sure.
No, agreed. And then Rick Pinkney as well, reffing that event. So big name. I saw him at the 2008 Nationals. He reffed one of my matches, and he controlled the hell out of that thing. Yeah, it went according to the way he had it set up. He was very strict. I think at one point I was setting up and he'd give me a warning about something, but he was like very serious about it. I was like, okay, no, I won't do that again. Like, sorry, sir.
Yeah, he's not a name you want to get on the wrong side of, being the president of, I believe, CAWF at the moment. He's a pretty powerful individual in the community. So
yeah, agreed. So what next? We have I know we were going to talk about, do we want to jump straight to Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Canada, but we go down to the States, but really there's a point to it, and it was Canada versus the US, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, we got to talk about Canada in that, what happened. Is there anywhere you want to start? I guess we could start with the Supermatch card. I mean, I don't think we have the results of the tournament at the moment.
I can't find them all. If anybody has them, can you comment on this video or comment below, or send a link or something so that we can share those results. You and I discussed earlier, Riley, before filming here, that we saw a picture. It looked like Alex Martinez in first place, Corey Flash Miller in second, and then Eric Roussin in third. Like, if that's not a stacked class, I don't know what is. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
That's fine. It sounds fun, but it sounds
like like if I'm in that class and we're at the very beginning and you're reading out all the participants, I think hearing those three names, I'd be like, okay, I'm gunning for fourth.
I'm gunning for fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long day at the office. Yeah, that was impressive. But you're right. We don't have. I couldn't find any of their stats. And yeah, if somebody can find them and send them our way, we'll happily share them.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's, I'm sure they're even still printing them at the moment. I think there's a lot of entries probably, so they might not even be released yet, for all I know. But yeah, I've looked everywhere. I can't find them. So other than that class, just because of social media, I have no idea. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then let's jump into the matches.
Like, starting off, there was only 3 matches, right? But I think there were supposed to be 6 total.
6, really?
There were supposed to be 6, yeah.
And sorry, where did you originally hear about that?
Well, I seen the poster, and I did see quite a few of the actual posts. Like, they would, every time they announced a match, they would make a post.
Okay.
They would say, so and so versus so and so.
Yeah.
So if you wanted, I guess first we could discuss maybe the 3 that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Super quick, and then we'll dive right into them, and we'll get to the juicy stuff.
Yeah, but enlighten me and our viewers. Let's hear what you got.
No, absolutely. Like the one that was supposed to happen, I think I was super pumped for was left hand. Um, it was going to be Evan Burgoyne versus Corey Bresnan, Tim Bresnan's
Oh,
son.
okay, right on.
That was going to be a really good one. And I like Corey, I think still went because I seen him in some videos from the tournament.
Okay.
Like he was giving Derek Smith trouble on the left. Like he was solid dude, you know, built just like Tim. No idea why it didn't happen. You know, I've been watching YouTube. Evan's looking healthy. I don't know.
Didn't Evan Burgoyne, didn't he miss a match because he couldn't get through like COVID or something? He had failed a COVID test or something to get somewhere. That was recently.
Yeah, I think that was the East versus West one he was supposed to go to, and maybe it was the same thing. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. Maybe
I
he
don't know.
wasn't cleared yet or something, but I guess it just got called off for some reason.
Wow.
And
Okay.
that was gonna be a good one, right? Canada versus US, and you know that was gonna be a solid banger.
Agreed.
Another one was supposed to be Nelson Torque versus Rance Clayton. Was another one. Now Nelson Torque is a killer in Alberta. Like he's really, really, really solid. Like just hand feels like he's got a tennis ball for a thumb.
Nice.
You know, just rock strong.
Him I've heard of. Now his opponent I have not.
Yeah, Rance Clayton's big in the States. I think he's in the top 20.
Okay.
For the right hand 220 class. I think he's top 20 in North America. So I do think Nelson was an underdog, but I don't think to the degree that people maybe were thinking. I think there was going to be. I think it was a good match.
Nice.
I really do. And then the third one was supposed to happen. It was going to happen until like 2 days before. Was Jeff Frank versus Mike Fontenot. And
okay. Yes, I heard of that one. I did hear about that one because Jeff made just a small Facebook post about it.
Yeah, a little one. We'll leave some of it out, and I mean, he really didn't get too descriptive with it, but yeah, he went to the airport and everything, and I mean, the rest is pretty self-explanatory. He didn't pass his test, I guess, or something.
The rapid test, yeah, the vid,
and wasn't allowed to leave. So, like Fontenot still showed up. I think he helped ref and everything too, so like he was there, but just Jeff couldn't make it. Had every intention to, but it just didn't work. So.
Nice. I hear Jeff's been progressing really nicely. I got a chance to pull him in a super match, whatever, in a challenge match early in his career, but I think it was just way too early for him, just because of how long I've been at it, I guess. But still a pleasure. Dude's super nice. But I consistently hear things that he grows. He's dedicated. He's consistent. He's persistent. I wish him nothing but the best. I think Jeff Frank's a great guy.
I do as well. And like on social media, I see a lot of videos. He's on there. He's on the table with Marlon Hicks.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anthony D'Alantonia.
Awesome.
And he looks like he's doing some quality training down there. And I think he's in Chilliwack, BC right now.
Yeah.
So he looks strong. So I think he was ready. So that hurts even more when you're ready and, the cards just aren't in your favor. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of years of armor ahead of him. So I mean, at least he's got that going for him. But yeah, it's too bad that didn't happen. I was very curious about that match. I did hear about that one.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, which one? Which one of the big three do you want to cover first?
Do you want to go just in order of how they happened, I guess?
Yeah, give her.
Go from there.
Yeah.
I guess, first match was Canada's own Fraser Benoit, and he pulled Sean Hancock, the organizer of the event, from Mississippi down in the States. So
right
on. That was an eye-opener match for me, actually. Did you get the chance to go over that one a little bit, or?
I did, yeah. I got to see it. I mean, got two real strong guys there. I didn't see it going that way. I really didn't.
Oh, no, I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like kind of a 3-3 or a 4-2 kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it looked like Fraser was, like the score suggests that it was just a wash, just easy for Sean. But
Yeah.
it looked like Frazier was just a few like pounds of pressure off of what he needed every single time.
Every time, yeah. It's one of those things where, like it's like Devin Larratt said, sometimes it's just a few pounds of pressure is the only difference between that tipping point. And yeah, I feel like you're right. I feel like that was very much the case, and there wasn't that big of a difference. Have you ever had a chance to pull Frazier?
Yeah, back in 2019, actually, we hosted a Fit to Fight in Lloydminster, actually, and Frazier Benoit had a super match there, and he did like a seminar in the bar the night before.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, we did some pulling. We did some pulling there. I got to group up with him a little bit. I mean, I was really early in my career still at that tournament, and so even now I don't think I'd really do much with him, but back then it was even more so. But since then, no, I actually haven't gripped up with him. So how about you?
It's been a lot of years. Yeah, like a lot of years. Like that was pre-kids, that was earlier in my career. So I think maybe like 2000 and I say earlier. I started in 2001, but I had it, and then I trained for like a few years. Then I had a couple years off, and then came back. But he came around. I want to say it was like 2008. He came to Saskatoon for a tournament. I wasn't ready. That's all I remember thinking is that I'm not ready. He was so, the way he talked to the ref and the way you could talk to the ref and somehow be manipulating my hand at the same time. I was just getting, he did to me what I like to do, what I can do to newer guys now. He had that whole match was under his control. And then he hit inside like a ton of bricks, and I didn't so much as almost slow him down. Yeah. I would love to pull him now because I know he trained with Matt. And I know he's a big deal. I like to pull with anybody, but I'd love to see how far I've come. I got nothing but respect for Frazier. He's been in the sport a long time, and lots of people seem to have lots of good things to say about him.
Yeah, he's up there with Mark and Tyrell for the list of underrated pullers for sure. I think, yeah.
But didn't he pull 198s or something at nationals? He's not. At least when I
think so. Typically, yeah. He'll be just under 200. When he pulls nationals.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I didn't think I'd be facing him this year, but
it would have to be overalls or something.
Yeah, they don't have that at nationals, so it would be I have to. Yeah. But whatever. At some point, we're gonna make a trip out to Red Deer anyway, so.
Yeah,
figure
for sure.
It out then.
You won't be disappointed.
Oh no, I'm fully looking forward to going to Red Deer and getting worked.
So much power. Yeah.
That's the point. That's the goal. Get destroyed. Okay, next up.
Next up was our own Manitoba Mastiff, the E-Train, Ryan Espy. Left hand going up against Arkansas's own Monster Michael Todd.
The Monster Michael Todd. Now, what were you thinking going into this match?
I was under the impression that kind of like everybody else that Ryan was just going to be too much lefty. But after watching what Michael did to Robbie Topi,
right?
My only worry was that if for a split second off just very early in the match, maybe Ryan took him too lightly. Okay. He was going to get a quick, side pressure chop like Michael likes to do inside, and it was just going to be too fast for Ryan. Just by the time he engaged, was already pinned. I seen that as a possibility, but when the match started, I was like, "Oh my god, Ryan Espy is something else." Something else. Everybody says Michael Todd's left sucks. And it's not what his right is, but one puller from Alberta I want to give a shout out to right now is Mark Gay. Mark is a really, really strong dude. And if you want to see how good Michael's left actually is compared to what people might say, look up Michael Todd versus Mark Gay left hand.
Okay.
at TAL in Idaho. Wow. Mark.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
How strong Mark is, he didn't even look like he was there. So it just shows you the levels, right?
Yeah, there's always those people like, oh yeah, Michael Todd's left is trash. I'm like, really? I have a feeling it's not as trash as you want to think it is.
Yeah, maybe to like Ryan, Cody Merritt, and Devin. Other than that, I don't think it's trash.
No. I wouldn't think it. That arm's way too big to be trash.
I agree. Yeah.
And I mean, of course, combined with all the years and years of technique, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I agree.
But that was a good match, man. I want to say before I forget, like at the very end there, where Ryan, you could tell Ryan was kind of like giving him a little of this. He was going to try something else.
Yeah.
And I mean, Mike got the pin, but I thought that was really cool. I thought that was, that was a really nice gesture, and like a way of testing himself, right? So that was, I thought that was a good move. Good job, Ryan.
I think so too. It's a good way to do it. It's kind of like what Dave Chafee always does. When he's about to win 6-0, he likes to try something else out, and the guy always gets that last pin, right? Like he just did it to Gardetcha. He did it to Rimkus back in top 8 qualifiers or whatever. He gave him the last one, right? Just trying something new, right? Letting a guy get in the lane. Like, why would I just crush a guy 6-0? And unless you had stakings on you for 6-0, try something different, right?
Yeah.
So.
No, good call. Yeah, that was a big move. That was really cool. Big fan of that, and nice to see Ryan, really doing what he does best and crushing people with his left arm.
Oh yeah.
All right, I said before, I'll say it again. You grip up with Ryan Espy, you can feel all your hopes and dreams leaving you long before they say go.
Yeah, it's just I've met him multiple times. I've shook his hand. Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually like set up with him. But either way, I can just picture that hand being brutal.
I've competed against Ryan more than once. I competed against him in my first comeback year to the sport, which was beginning of 07, I think, and either end of 06 or beginning of 07. He came to Saskatoon for an event, and I got to meet him and compete against him. Because I was pulling the heavyweight. It was like a big heavyweight class there, and it was funny because while we were pulling, he's like just smiling. He's just like, I wasn't even like, I think the wind was pushing his arm harder than I was. And then I've also competed against him in the overalls at the he's got that sword event in Manitoba. They got the King of the Sword.
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
Yeah, so I went there and won my class. So pulled right in the overalls, and it wasn't better than it was, in 07. It wasn't better than that. It was the same.
Again, there's levels, right? It's just like, that's why don't set your hopes on a super heavyweight championship title at nationals, right? Because he's there, and it's just not going to work.
Yeah, that's scary, man.
Maybe it will. It's just you have to really want it if you want to reach that level, right? So 242 or 220s is no SP can get you there. There's some killers there though.
Chasing me to 220s, that's for sure. So that was a really good match, and then we go from that wonderful match, great action, great everything, to the next one.
SP's was probably my favorite of the day. And so that was 1-1, Canada and US. We were tied, right? But the last one was, I don't know. We can get into some stuff if you like. There's been videos made today, I don't know. I can get into my opinions and stuff, but really, my opinion doesn't weigh a whole lot compared to a guy like Matt or John's talked about it recently, since that match happened. And so I don't know. I had opinions and stuff, but basically, I guess we got started before we even announced the match. My bad.
Thank you.
We had our own Matt Mask from Red Deer. And he went against Mr. Tim Bresnan from Connecticut, I believe.
Very good.
Big match. 2 legitimate top 10 right-handers, contenders for sure. If not, they're already in there. Right hand, I don't think they've ever pulled before. I think
I don't know.
I heard Matt saying that they wanted to for a while, but it just never happened. There was just conflicts of, when Matt could, Tim couldn't, and when Tim could, Matt couldn't. It was just, just other events and stuff always got in the way, or family or work or whatever it was. And it finally worked, and so they said yes. And I think Tim, legitimately looked more dominant at the beginning, for sure.
Very strong. Yeah.
Tim was the better guy in the first couple of rounds. But then after that, I feel like I think Matt adjusted and he found his lane. Like, I think he kind of just went back to, he looked like he was doing more of a low hand, like he did against like Marcio and WAL and stuff.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was starting to crack him. And I mean, he came back. I have to look at the match again, but regardless, it was 4-2 for Tim. My honest opinion, like, it could have been 3-3 in like a deciding 7th round. I think it could have been, for sure. And if that were the case, I think Matt would have won in the end.
Yeah, that match was riddled with fouls.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I found really interesting is, like, I don't know, I watched it a bunch of times, or around it, and when they're first setting up, I mean, Matt's elbow was on the pad. He's waiting, he's ready, and then he's getting warnings about his elbow. But there was clearly like another inch or so from his elbow to the corner of the pad. So I mean, it was our angle, and it was hovering there, but even Matt looked super confused. So, I mean, there's a few things there, and I think, looking at other YouTube channels, it seems like there's a lot of chatter about the rules involved, especially with that association or whatever. It's seemed like there was a lot of stuff that was, made it for, less exciting match. It was definitely less exciting for people watching. And I think that, at some level you need to take that into account, like the WAL does. They set up things in a certain way where, you can make, you can let an exciting match happen. And it just, to me, I feel like I was robbed watching Bresnan pull a mask. I feel like I felt like I was robbed. I was like robbed of a really great, in their match, and it was just like foul. Like, it was just like, wow, like, I mean, geez, it's not Matt's first time on the table, it's not like he's just, or, it's not like he, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. I think that match had a lot of potential, and it just never got fully out there.
Yeah, I think if that match happened the way it could have, it would have been match of the day. But to me, match of the day was, I think, Espy and Michael Todd, for sure. But like, I don't know, the opinion that I had, and I mean, I think I watched right after the match. There was like Uncle John, Neil Pickup, and I think it was Aussie Arm Wrestler. They all popped on, and they were talking about the same thing. Like, even Neil Pickup was like, I was disgusted with that and stuff, and yada yada.
Yeah, Bowen had a couple videos up as well. By the way, anyone who, if you're new to like watching arm wrestling on YouTube, these are all great channels. Ryan Blue Bowen's channel, Neil Pickup's channel, all they're all really good. And I know you follow them all. I watch them all.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, lots of respect there. But like I saw, like, it was just all of a sudden a flood of videos all about this. Not even the match, right? It could have been all about how explosive the match was, and it was like every video was about all the controversy involved. So another robbery.
Yeah, no, for
another
sure.
Robbery, robbed again.
And I mean, yeah, like, I guess the opinion that I still hold it. I mean, I don't know how relevant it is, but I think that PAL is perfect for tournaments. I think it's perfect. I really do. And for the quickest tournament too, like, it goes through really fast and it's really strict and accurate. But I think for a super match, I like Engen's East versus West is really good because it's not as loose as WAL, but it's not just super like, don't breathe the wrong way, you're gonna get a foul, right?
Yeah.
Like East versus West, Arm Wars is really good.
arm horse is good. Arm horse is really good. Yeah.
I like those. Those are perfect for super matches. And I mean, I don't think fans really get tired of watching those. Like they're just not. There's never a time where you're looking at your watch going, okay, let's go.
No. Keeps your attention.
That was just my opinion during that match.
Yep. Yeah.
I just remember I was so excited. I was like sitting here watching, and Tim was up 3, right? And Matt was, I think he made his comeback. He got 1 pin. And then I think it was the 5th round that Matt was going to get his 2nd pin. And that's where the foul got called. I think it was Sean Hancock called it as the down ref. And then so Leonard was like, okay, winner Tim. And right then I was just like, I was so pissed. Because I was like, yes, he's going to win this one.
Yeah.
And then Matt's going to win the next one. And then they're going to go to 7. And it's going to be a deciding 7, right?
Yeah.
But didn't work.
No, unfortunately, it did not work out that way. But yeah, so that's unfortunate. But I mean, Matt has a lot to look forward to. He has a busy schedule coming up as far as arm wrestling goes, and that's not even like his life. Like his arm wrestling schedule coming up is pretty hectic. Hey, he's got some big matches coming up.
Oh yeah, and then, and that's another thing I wanted to say was the whole thing with Matt and Hermes in the past.
Yes.
Like Hermes' issue was WAL rules and all this stuff, right?
Right.
He knew the rules coming in, right? He knew the rules. It's his own problem. The first thing I watched Matt's live today, the first thing he said when he came on was, I knew the rules. He's like, it doesn't bother me. He said, I see a lot of people, commenting what they think. He's like, I get it, but I don't really care. It happened, whatever. I'm thinking about, I think Prudnick's next. Like, I'm thinking about Prudnick. I don't care. Tim wants to run it back next year. We'll do it again.
Yeah. That's a good mindset. That's a healthy mindset.
Absolutely. Yeah. He didn't do the Hermes with it, right? And that's exactly, he stuck true to his narrative with that. So that's great.
Yeah, great. I mean, and sets the tone. That makes him a good role model. You know what I mean? So good for him.
Yep.
Good for him. But yeah, all in all, exciting footage. I'll try to throw some pictures or clips or something in amongst you. But yeah, that was good, man. That's a lot of good stuff coming up. And then there's still provinces with provincials coming up and stuff here too. So looking forward to hearing some of those results and see if we can maybe talk to some of these people who are winning, some of these guys who are winning, maybe have them on the show.
Yeah, I agree. Like we got, I think Manitoba coming up. Alberta, I don't think it's till like May 21st or something. Like they got a ways to go. So I mean, yeah, there's going to be over the next month and a half or so. There's going to be some more results and stuff to dive into leading up to nationals. Yeah, this summer we got a whole bunch of, other than nationals, we got a lot of super match cards to go over, not just on the world stage, but here in Canada, right? But
yeah, we'll make sure we give those, the proper attention they deserve.
I was gonna list them all, but I'm not even gonna try. There's too much.
No, but we'll share them. We'll stay on top of it, and we'll make sure we have some people on the show here. We have a long list of people we'd like to have on here, so we'll make sure it gets on here. But for now, that's it. Pushing a long episode here, but there's a lot to talk about and lots to come. We still plan on doing an episode coming up soon, so coming soon. We're going to cover the women's classes from Saskatchewan Provincials, and we would like to get an interview for that. There is good women's turnout, and for Saskatchewan, there's usually, I don't see any, hardly most tournaments, there's not a lot of female competitors. There was a Provincials, and they put on a hell of a show. There was some wars, lots of good stuff there, so we'll cover that, see if we can get an interview. Maybe with the female pull of the year, that would be Brad Esmond's daughter, I believe. And,
I think it was Anae Esmond Ritter, I think is her name.
There you go.
She won the hammer and had a really good show in both classes. She pulled both arms. It was really good. Some of the matches of the day were in that division. So
yeah, so just so people know that is coming, we didn't ignore it. We're definitely going to give the women's class some attention here. Even more so technically if we have an interview. So that's coming. and yeah, talk about these upcoming provincials for provinces. Talk about some of the guys we know and see how talk about how we think they're going to do and all that. But lots to look forward to, you guys. But for now, that's it. That's all we got for you. Another episode of Over Top TV. Right on. Well, I don't know about you, Growly, but I figure grip and rip, man.
Might as well. Just about practice time here tonight, so.
It is. Practice is coming up right away. Yeah, that's at 7 bells here, so I'll get off here with you and start getting the practice floor ready. My basement's about to turn into a war zone, so.
Absolutely. Love to hear it.
Right on, man. Okay, well, I'll talk to you soon, and all our subscribers out there, talk to you soon.
You betcha.